My name's Jordan Oram. I'm a cinematographer, born and raised Brooklyn, Ontario. I went to school at Seneca College for business management and marketing, dropped out and started freelancing from the age of 19. I've since went on to do some of the world's most viewed music videos and highly sought after franchise feature films and commercials that I don't really publicly produce or share. I would consider myself to be an advocate of cinema, a deep lover of emotion, feeling, and everything moving, and all things unconventional. Cinematography happened to be something that I was very inspired by at a very early age. So I did as much things as I could to perfect that craft, to be a cinematographer that I can talk to people about story, but also tell people that I'm shooting on a Alexa LF with some Primo Artiste lenses from Panavision. That was a great thing for me because then I could tell them why I chose those lenses, and that would innately inspire people that I was telling. And that would influence the next generation because they would say, hey, I've never seen someone do that before. Why did you do that? So, because no one's done it. So let me be the first to try something that no one else is comfortable doing. I think I always wanted to just be a part of the industry, but I think the cinematographer was the head of the department, and I always looked at leadership as a great way to build my vision for myself. I needed to become a visionary. I needed to become a leader of my crew. And watching cinematographers throughout behind the scenes of movies, I always felt that if I could control or help contribute to the end result, I would love to do that behind the camera because I could take my technical know-how and my ability to tell stories and collaborate and tell beautiful stories with other people, and that would end up being a cinematographer. The first thing I would tell anyone looking to be part of the society of cinematographers or the world of cinematography would be lose your ego. I think that a lot of people need to come into this industry and humble themselves before they step into this world, into this role, because there's going to be a lot of criticism, and there's a lot of things that you need to understand before you can craft your images. Really study the craft of cinematography, study camera work, study lighting, study blocking, study set design, production design, color theory, cinema history, and really be sure of what you're bringing to the table, because I think there's a lack of information and education that people step into this role in. I think it's very important that you surround yourselves with people that can help you grow into your craft and share knowledge and bounce ideas. Getting a mentor is very vital because bouncing ideas off each other is how I learned. It's one of the strongest things that I will always take to the end of my career, is how much information I gain from those around me. I talk to my directors like every day, even when I'm not working. So we develop a language. Do you remember when we had that conversation, we talked about what that movie made us feel like? We use that to channel the direction that we go into. I always challenge directors to cut half of their shot list. Oftentimes I feel like directors are afraid to really follow their vision. So it's on their mood board or their storyboard or their treatment. I would like them to really walk me through every single shot in their head. What does this video look like? What does this movie feel like? At what point do we feel like we want to cut the camera? So I challenge them to have a vision in their head completely beforehand, because then it allows me to navigate the process with them a little bit easier versus having conversations on set and wasting time where we should just be eliminating the needs of the production. I always try to make sure that I'm being authentic to the story more than myself, because I need to ensure that whatever I'm giving to the story is what the story needs. So I try to feel what the story is telling me to feel and then kind of portray that back into the work. So whether it be long lenses or high contrast, clinical looks, I can do that, or I can, throw it on my shoulder, bump up the ISO to like 1600 to get a bit of a grain pattern, to give more texture and give more character to the subject, to the image. But all in all, what I definitely would like to start crafting, or what I've been able to craft through my work, is a level of a feeling. Like I really want the feeling to come through my work. So different styles will come into effect, handheld, no easy rig, and really get the camera in my hand so I can feel the inertia of the weight of the camera. I like warm tones. I love warm lighting, so tungsten light is my choice, my preference of a source. I love filtration, so there's always going to be a filter over my lenses, because I do believe in stylizing enough that I can really take credit for my images versus going to a colorist and expecting them to do what I could have done in camera. I really take pride in that, in the way that I approach things. I'm a risk taker in a lot of my approach. If something's never been done, I want to do that first, because I do want to have unprecedented work for the future. Recently, I've been shooting a lot more movies. Television is something I'm looking to get into right now. Music videos will always be the catalyst of my inspiration because it's quickly changing, it's ever growing. But I do feel a great desire in the narrative work that I'm being a part of right now and the interviews that I'm having in the industry, because they're telling stories that are resonating from my community, and I really feel strongly about telling stories that I've lived now. There's a responsibility to tell your story. You don't just start this industry and it's not always about you. I wish someone told me that, because starting out in my career I thought it was about me. I thought it was about, oh, look what I can do. Look at me, look at my work, hire me. I'm the best person for the job. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's really your dedication to the craft. It's your, this is all he does. That's why people hire you. That's why people are hiring me right now. It's because when they meet me, they're like, wow, you're really passionate about this art form. And you're not confused about what it is that you want. And it's because I did it for myself. I never did it for anyone else.